What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Big Ten football channel.
We are taking you through the questions that shape the college football season as we await the College Football Playoff Selection Committee's first rankings. Is Michigan back on track and capable of upsetting Ohio State? Shea Patterson's playing better. The offensive line that was arguably the best in the Big Ten, as rated in the preseason, is playing much better. They have found a running back, Hassan Haskins, a converted linebacker who was recruited as a running back, converted a linebacker because they had the likes of Karan Higdon and Chris Evans and others, has moved back to running back, and he's now the main back to supplement the efforts of Zach Charbonnet, who set a Michigan freshman record with his 11th touchdown last week. The wide receivers have always been elite, or at least this bunch of wide receivers, although they've not been given the opportunity to show it. The recruiting rankings tell us otherwise, that they should produce like elite wide receivers with Nico Collins and Ronnie Bell and Donovan Peoples-Jones and Tariq Black. So the Michigan offense has the components to be better, but they look lost early in the season. They should have lost to Army. They got blasted by Wisconsin. And, of course, they came out of the gate against Penn State and trailed 21-0. Since then, they played really good football. They fought back against Penn State, came within a drop pass in the end zone of tying that game in the final 2 minutes. They blasted Notre Dame at home and took on one of the nation's best defensive lines and ran the ball at will. We haven't even gotten to the defense. And I know we need to wait and see because Ohio State's coming. And we know what the defense failed to do against Ohio State last year in giving up 62 points and then blasted against Florida, although they missed some personnel on that side of the ball against Florida in the Peach Bowl. This is what impresses me about Michigan football this year. They went from being what looked like a weak-minded team with no fight, just playing on talent, front runners who could play the likes of Illinois and Rutgers and Maryland and those types of teams and just blast away and use their talent to overwhelm them. But when they got into a dogfight with a good team, they would lay down. Thus, the record against ranked teams on the road and top 10 teams anywhere during the Jim Harbaugh era. But what they showed me was, I mentioned this earlier, the weight of the college football world is on Jim Harbaugh and by extension on this Michigan football team. I don't know a team out there that has as much weight to carry as Michigan does, based on expectations, criticism, and the failure to meet those expectations year after year after year, and it's mounting. They could not meet those expectations in any tangible way this year. There's no reasonable way in which they can win the Big Ten championship. Yes, mathematically, they're still in it, but to get Penn State and Ohio State to lose 2 games before the end of the season is a near impossibility. So they have nothing tangible to play for. And they had all that weight on them, and that weight carried into Happy Valley, and it turned into a 21-0 deficit like that, facing the whiteout, facing a top defense, facing all the narrative that is built up over time. They fought back. They showed resilience. They fought back. And they got that close to converting a 4th down in the end zone when Ronnie Bell dropped that pass that would have tied the game. So consider how much more weight was put on them, that they fought and fought and fought and fought the narrative and fought the score at 21-0 in a hostile environment, got that close, and were let down again. So what would happen at home against Notre Dame the next week? A team that had all the incentive of playing for a college football playoff appearance. Michigan showed up. They showed up and rolled. Maybe the expectations and all the possibilities and the paths of winning a championship being taken away freed them. They played free against Notre Dame, and they whipped the Irish 45-14, and the game wasn't that close. Is Michigan better than Ohio State? No. Michigan is not better than Ohio State. The best team does not always win the game. Michigan will be at home. They will be playing with nothing on the line. Nothing tangibly on the line except the rivalry, the pride and the rivalry. And what is the rivalry when you lose 14 out of 15 years? And the one time you won, it was kind of inconsequential because it was against an interim coach. So Michigan has been completely obliterated and dominated in this series going back to 2003. They will have nothing to play for in this game. From that standpoint, they can play loose and free. They might be dangerous. They will be dangerous. I'm not predicting a win here for the Wolverines against the Buckeyes. What I am saying is that, yes, Michigan is capable of upsetting Ohio State.